With a common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Duo Live show here at Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman, aka the Crypto Hitman.
I'm Todd Butterfield, Wyckoff on crypto.
You tune in every day. You smash that like every day because this is your one-stop shop for both crypto and stock technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and news. And we constantly try to put gains into your portfolio and provide outlook and help to hopefully nurture those portfolios so you don't get very many losses. And I mean, we're going to talk about what's going on in the markets today. Nothing much that's different than yesterday. We still have Bitcoin weakness, even though the stock market was doing okay earlier today. It's kind of interesting to see gold at new all-time highs. The stocks were green and Bitcoin was still red. Do you think this is more of a trend, or do you think crypto and Bitcoin is just trying to, let the dust settle after that major liquidation crisis and those massive wicks that we saw just last week?
I think we got a little bit of weakness still coming here for crypto, so that's why we're mostly on the sidelines, waiting for a little more weakness for the picture to clear up.
What's going on, Tag McFadden? What's going on, Carrie Butterfield? And the Wise Tent is back saying, hey, boys, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and join us at patreon.com/learncrypto if you want 24/7 access to us. Yes, you heard that right. We did take profits on Ethereum. We took profits on Pengu. We took profits on Peacock and on some others to have some cash in the portfolio to buy a dip. We have gotten the dip, but we have not pulled the trigger just yet. We also played in the BSC meme season. We took profits on Paulu, profits on BNB meme season, and some others on Binance Chain. Not to mention, anybody who took those trades, you are also eligible for an airdrop from CZ and Binance themselves. Airdrop 1 of 4 has gone out yesterday. $45 million. Check your wallet to see if you got any free BNB from Binance. I don't know if you want to share my screen. We'll go over CoinGecko real quick before you get the charts. Not much to go over. All the exact same as yesterday. 7-day Bitcoin still down 9.5%. Ethereum down 10.9%, lagging BTC just a little bit. BNB down 10% after it has been leading the entire way. It went to new all-time highs above $1,300 after the liquidity crisis. There has been a FUD storm. We were going to talk about the FUD storm from Coinbase on Binance last night, but then I got the opposite of the FUD storm. Now Coinbase is saying finally they are going to be listing the BNB token and supporting the BSC network. This is something that we have been talking about was going to happen for a very long time. This also opens up the possibility for what? For institutions in the United States of America to do what? Potentially a BNB ETF or BNB strategic reserves, because again, it will be listed in the framework of Coinbase. Coinbase regulated by the US, and all of these ETFs, a lot of the AUM with BlackRock, Fidelity, etc., all runs through Coinbase institutional. So I mean, the dots are lining up that Binance is going nowhere, BNB is going nowhere, and CZ served his prison sentence, paid off his debts, and looks like he's going to get a pardon from Trump himself.
What's up, Tag? The Wise Tent, Jasper, and somebody named Carrie Butterfield.
I already said hi to them. People want to see your charts now, Todd. People want to see your charts. What is Bitcoin doing? When are they buying? What's Ethereum doing? When are they buying? And should BNB be in the portfolio or not?
All right, in front of us is our normal Bitcoin tether chart. You can see here we've got the technometer. I got that's called really the past high back here on May 10th. called a high June 10th, called a high on July 14th, called this nice high up here August 13th, and then recently had to sell up there around 120,700 on October 3rd. So looks like definitely we're rolling over here. We had new highs in price while volume wasn't following. So that kind of volume topped out here, which if you do Elliott wave, probably that was the end of 5 waves up, or possibly the end of a 3rd wave. And then when the 5th wave went up, volume did not go to new highs, which is normal for a 5th wave. And then since then, we probably have done an ABC. The question is, do we have lower to go? You can see volume's hitting new lows today. Price is above the spike low. Obviously, we had down there at 102.5. That's going to be what makes life a little tough here in the days and weeks ahead, whether that was the low. I really myself would like to see something I mentioned down around 108, 107, that I think that would maybe prepare us to try a rally. Technometer's 43. I'd like something down there at 38. You can see we almost got that on this low frame here down at 108. And otherwise, something around 39.5, 40 has been the lows. So again, let's look for something around 38 to give us a chance to jump back in here. Let's look at Ethereum as well. Not much really different here. We did buy 4,100 and 3,600 on that break. I did take profits up here at 41.70 or so. Still looking again for something lower. Now something down around that 37, 3,600 would probably get us an oversold technometer reading. Technometers at 43.8, which is neutral. So not much help, yes. I mean, this here looks a little bit like distribution. This is going to be a sign of weakness or a shakeout. So time will tell here in a few days. While we're here, let's look at our Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index. We haven't brought this up in a while. You can see all the green dots are technometer readings below 40. So those are normally good entry points. If we look here currently, 42.56. So not there yet, but pretty close. So again, a little bit more weakness down around this 111 on the Wyckoff Crypto Index, and I'll probably be excited as well. Then while we're here, let's go look at BNB, as Nick mentioned. Had the big break down below 900, came right back to new all-time highs, showing a little bit of weakness the last 3 days. The optimism, pessimism, not much to add there. Didn't go up on that last surge really very strong, so not a lot of strong volume behind that. Technometer again, 44.97, not much to add, neutral. So we're going to watch that. And again, on crypto in general, let's look for a little bit lower.
The traditional stock market doing today? Like, how's NASDAQ doing, and how's the Dow and S&P doing today? I know they were green earlier today. Have they held those green candles, or what's the progress that we're seeing there?
Let me slide back. I mean, we got the Dow as we speak, just went minus after being up 400 earlier in the day. You can see though my technometer down at the lows got as low as 35.56. So that was on the smash and the following day. So that did give us a recovery bounce. We're still sitting here at 37 or so. So on the Dow, it looks like we're still oversold and we could go to new highs. That's not my preferred count. I would hope that the smash was some type of A down or 1 down and we have further to go. But we're going to have to watch that because, again, on these general market indices, the technometer did come down. You can see here 41.38. We have not reached oversold on the S&P. So, again, I was kind of hoping for A down. This is B up that finished today at noon. And we're heading one more time to new lows. That would be perfect. That would give us probably a sell-off in crypto that we need and give us pretty good entry points. Same type of thing here on the QQQ. Technometer 40.24, that's as low as it's been in a while, dating back to here when we got some oversold readings in what was this wave 4 correction, I'm sure. That looked like a triangle. So the question is, we put in a 5-wave top on the NASDAQ, or are we going to continue to subdivide higher? As you can see here, the red wave 3 subdivide much, much higher, where wave 1 and wave 5 was much smaller in comparison. So again, that's something we want to watch and see how the correction unfolds in the next few days.
If you want to throw my chart over here, we'll talk about one of the other trades. The one I told you was on Pulse Chain called Peacock. We made big gains on that pretty rapidly. One of the strongest performing assets over on Pulse Chain. We did take profits. It's hit as low as 17.5% below our sell. You can see your buy here or sell here. Now, what's interesting is this massive run-up volume came behind it. We sold it because we were up anywhere between 55% to 250%. All 3 buys I gave were in the profits, and we wanted it to reduce our risk. But this does look like this could be forming a cup and handle. If we zoomed out to the bigger chart, you can see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to run some fib levels and give that to the Patreon members when a buyback would occur. The reason I am looking to buy this back at some point is it has been one of the strongest assets. It has utility tied to the #1 bridge on Pulse Chain where they're using revenue for buybacks of tokens. And I think it's a long-standing meme. So if Pulse Chain has success, I think Peacock will continue to have success. So we're going to run some fibs on this. Patreon.com/learncrypto to see when we get the next trade entry. And also the RSI on the 1 hour has been a pretty good indicator, picking lows on this uptrend. So I'm looking for an oversold RSI. I'm looking for a fib level for a good handle on a cup and handle chart. And then we'll try to get that in cheaper than what we sold it. Again, it's already dropped 18% below where we sold it just a couple days ago. Another one is Pengu. I guess I'll pull that up while I got the screen here. Let's see where it is here. Pengu. Here's the one. We had balls of steel. We sold that thing back here in July, looking for a dip into this buy zone, and we waited. Yeah, balls of steel. We waited a long time, and it just slowly meandered its way to its buy zone. We didn't buy the first touch, and it's a good thing we didn't because the liquidation crisis occurred, and it allowed us to react and buy down here. The next day on the relief rally that all the assets saw, we sold it for 68% gains. And I said I'll reevaluate once it gets back to the lower end of this buy zone. We are getting very close to that. We're at about a 9 or 10% drop from our sell. But with Todd looking for potential lower on Bitcoin and Ethereum, that would drag Pengu lower because Solana would also drop. We'll be keeping an eye on this. Pengu is one of the best IPs in crypto, will be one of the best IPs in crypto. They're hinting at launching more IRL products that you'll see in Walmart's, Targets, whatever. So I wouldn't mind getting another trade set up for Pengu. This was a good winner. You got to walk away sometimes, 68% gains in 24 hours. And we'll see if we can get another low-risk trade set up on Pengu in the near future for you guys here on YouTube. And, of course, the people that find out first, if we're not live, is going to be patreon.com/learncrypto.
Jasper's got a few comments there, it looks like.
Let's see what he says. Jasper said, I would love if you guys check out other dominance on the inverse chart, #Wyckoff accumulation schematic 1, and also on the regular chart for Wyckoff distribution. At first glance, I see absolute destruction coming for alts. Might take Todd a minute to process that or pull that up. I'm not the Wyckoff guy. He is. Look at that brain working.
Let me grab the Bitcoin dominance. I mean, this is what looks like the Bitcoin dominance chart that probably is running things here. Let me make that a little bit better. I mean, again, I'm not sure. I mean, dominance definitely topped out. We've had definitely some alt rallies here. That chart a little bit fishy. So I'm not really sure what to think of that. I mean, it would look like Bitcoin could, dominance could head lower again and have some type of alt season. But let's go back, because I know what you're looking at is, hold on, I had this chart earlier. I mean, there's a distribution chart that possibly you're talking about on a smaller time frame. And if that was a sign of weakness, and right now we're doing a last point of supply, and that would be a nice distribution chart, which means we're headed down, you know, we're probably headed down 75 to 85,000 or something, 85,000. So again, our technometer readings have called all these tops, so I'm really hoping to get another overbought technometer that would give us a good sell point, wondering where that might be. So I don't look at a lot of other dominance charts. I will look into that, Jasper. I don't have those charts in front of me. But, you know, if this is the last point of supply on Bitcoin and we're going down to 85,000, I'm sure alts will get destroyed. So that, always want to be open to possibilities.
There we go. We're kind of going over all the charts that we really wanted to go over. There isn't a ton of news. As we mentioned in the intro, Coinbase will be listing BNB and adding support for the BSC network. I would assume at first it's just going to be deposits and withdrawals of BNB itself, maybe USDT and maybe USDC. Nonetheless, I think that is very good for the future of Binance. People who want to onboard into BSC, they're struggling because a lot of US people use Coinbase and they didn't support BSC. So you got to go through all these hoops to get BNB on chain, and now it will become a lot easier. This also opens up the runway for US-based institutional investment into BNB. I think there could be a BNB ETF very soon based on this new findings. What's interesting is 12 hours ago, Coinbase was fudding Binance because they charge projects to list on their exchange, and then 12 hours later, they're announcing a listing BNB. So I don't know what to make of all that. I think it's better when the two giants in crypto, Coinbase and Binance, don't argue with each other, work together, and try to help onboard new retail and new institutions into crypto and price go up. I don't know about you.
I was looking at Jasper's tweet on Twitter because he does show a Wyckoff schematic. The one thing I will say, as always, that sign of weakness in phase B, that is, I can never go with that count because that is not a Wyckoff correct label. And that schematic is not one of ours. So you can't have a sign of weakness and then a run to new highs on strong volume. Otherwise, that chart could be fine. So make the sign of weakness just a secondary test or a spring or something. And otherwise, yeah, I mean, you could be continued LPS-wise as you're showing. And now we're going to break support and head down sharply. So definitely a possibility.
If you want to throw me the screen real quick, we'll look at Pulse Chain assets real quick because they are green today amidst market weakness. And Pulse Chain continues to hold higher lows in this all-important uptrend line. Again, nothing exciting happens for me with Pulse Chain. WPLS, or PLS, is the native gas token of Pulse Chain. Think of it as Ethereum of this network. Nothing exciting happens for me unless you can break out above this green line and close above that line. I've been saying that for a very long time now. We just got rejected there not too long ago, so that shows you that my line was very accurate on what was going to be resistance. And it also bounced off the uptrend line, where, again, I had this uptrend line drawn from all the way back here. It plays out perfectly. So Richard Hart, or the market, is looking at some of the same key levels. And, again, in this middle zone is kind of the wait and see. Nothing too exciting. Get your positions, decide if you're bullish or bearish on the asset. I'm bullish, and I want to see above the green. Now, Ethereum is up about 180 or 190% off the lows, while Pulse Chain is only up 90% off the lows. So Pulse Chain is acting more like an altcoin and underperforming Ethereum off the recent moves off the low. But again, morale has been very low, but prices keep working their way higher and putting in higher lows. Good formation. And we do know Richard Hart just got very active starting yesterday. So let's see what happens with Pulse Chain in the future here. Again, get above this 3,500, 4,000 level, and then off to the races for the Pulse Chain and many of those Pulse Chain assets that we like to talk about in trade.
All right, let me run a disclaimer here, and then I'm going to run through my list of Wyckoff stocks. I got some positions in, and then we'll be probably ready to end this. So here's a disclaimer.
There's a high degree of risk involved in trading stocks and cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
All right, again, real quickly, in front of us, ASTS, AST Space Mobile. That's one that I'd mentioned down there at 38. The momentum scan went long at 54, new highs today. That one never stops, but somewhere here, be careful. ATRC, I mentioned a jump at a backup and trying to dig out of here. I am still long that now with small profits. CORT, I mentioned yesterday. Hopefully, it can hold here and turn higher. That is a momentum scan sell, but I have not given a sell but I want to see continued strength here. Guidant Health still up here, showing profit, still holding. IONQ finally taking some heat. That one definitely a high flyer. LNT up at the highs, new high today. Holding that. MJ, again, I've sold it just a hair lower, looking for more sideways to lower. NBR, still jumping a back up, not much to add. NNE, I missed that this morning. I had mentioned here at 46, I had higher objectives around 65. We did go from 46 to 61, and then back here to 52.73. So I wanted to trade that, just haven't got the sells off. So still long. Sherwin-Williams still long there. We got a divergence, but not very good price action. TMO I sold at 540, setting here at 528. Nothing there for action. And Winnebago down here at the bottom as well, nothing to add there. No real excitement. I will on the momentum scans. Some of these have been unbelievable. Here's one that momentum scan gave the buy at 41, only trading 120. So some of these have been off the chain. It jumped on Hood. It did a couple trades here, still long. Some of these are getting a little sloppy and could give sell signals, but still holding in there. So that's all I got. Back to Nick and I, and then let's.
We do have a comment. We do have a comment over on the live show on Twitter from Alpha Baller. Do you have any altcoins on robotics? I do not have any altcoins on robotics. I don't even know which altcoins exist in that sector. I do know there was like a Rice AI that launched on BSC Network, and we do have an airdrop of that because why? Because we hold Floki. If you hold Floki, you got an airdrop from Rice AI. But again, I haven't looked at that airdrop value. I haven't looked at Rice or that robotics company in quite a while. But I have been seeing robotics being talked more about in the news, and also on like Anthony Pompliano talking about Amazon's robotics and stuff. So maybe there is some kind of sector narrative hype that happens in crypto around that. But I just think it's kind of a weird thing for crypto projects to be involved in if they're not just Fugazi trying to find green candles, because robotics takes years of research and tons of money to make it a reality. Again, the Rice AI actually has a robot, but it's more of like a style of robot that would be equivalent to, you know, your Roomba that's cleaning your floor. It's not like real high-level robotics like Amazon and Tesla are working on. But I'll look into that. And if you have any picks, guys, on altcoins in the robotics sector of crypto, let us know. I did ask Alpha Baller on Twitter, so let's see if he has any replies to discuss in the next live show.
And Jasper, I am going to grab that chart that you had on your Twitter, and we'll discuss that in the future. So I'm going to run a commercial for patreon.com/learncrypto and end the show if that's all we got, Nick.
I guess just smash the like, share, and subscribe button. Go to learncrypto.io to see where you fit in. We can manage your accounts. You can join our private group. You can get courses, or you can keep tuning into the free content here on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. You'll find us, and you'll start winning.
Peace out.
Warren Buffett, American investor, business tycoon, and one of the wealthiest people in the world, once said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." But how is that possible? Well, knowledge is power. In 2020, it is no longer news that cryptocurrencies are the currency of the digital future. Bitcoin's stability amidst unprecedented global economic impacts from COVID-19 has proven once again that crypto is here to stay. Learning how to trade, when to trade, and where to trade crypto assets can make the difference between success and failure. At LearnCrypto.io, we offer a pathway to sustainable and lifelong wealth by helping open-minded beginners and experienced traders navigate the thin ice of the cryptocurrency markets. Live shows, interviews, coin reviews, fundamental analysis, predictive trading bots, and open chat access to a community of real traders. These are just a few of the benefits you'll receive with a membership on patreon.com/learncrypto. Sign up today if you strive to build yourself a brighter tomorrow.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.